wouldn't have it not do that because I'd rather have all the faces there.
Yeah.
We'll see. Anyhow, setting up my main grids. It says I'm live, but it says I'm still. Oh wait, yeah. It says we're not. Have it not do that. Because,
Meeting is
oh,
now
here we are.
streaming live on
I guess we are
YouTube.
broadcasting live. Wow, we're famous.
Yay.
We're more than famous.
We're
We're
infamous.
infamous.
We're infamous. All right. Meeting is being live streamed. Okay. So yeah. So this is. Can you guys hear me? Okay. I think this thing has one of those
Yes,
little
sir.
clips. Like
Yes.
Okay. Good. All right. Yeah. I gotta
Yeah.
get a proper mic one time. So yeah. So we're playing Dark Age of Man again, and this is session 3. And so you guys have gotten some repute. And what did you guys spend it on? Even Brother Durston Durston was able to spend his repute. So what did you spend it on? What did you increase?
I have one job here, man. It's to try out the magic system. So I put it in mind.
Okay, right on. So you got a mind of 4 now, right? Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. And what about Wolford of Northwich?
Well, because of the very public nature of the melee last time, and has his involvement with authorities, I put that point on prestige.
Okay, awesome. That's right. So people know who you are now.
Starting to.
And Jarek, what have you put it in? Because you actually got to spend your point. Because
with all the praying I've done for Brother Dunstan, my point has gone into spirit.
Nice.
in spirit. Oh, so you got a higher spirit. Okay, excellent. Cool. So let's get right down to business here. Now I've got my little. Oh, actually, I've also got my signed copy.
Nah.
Dark Age of Man. They were
nice.
nice enough to send me a signed copy of the Dark Age of Man book. I did vote on the back cover, everything like that at one point.
Yes, I did too. That's
Yeah.
a really good
I got
looking
actual
cover.
signatures by the actual people.
Yes. Awesome.
So
awesome
years
guys.
and years
Those are
and
awesome
years
guys.
from now, when I'm like, I'm hurting for money, when all the bases, I've sold all the bases, I can pull this bad boy out. Yeah, put this up on eBay or whatever, and yeah, I'll tell you what, man.
Get a half a cup of coffee.
Heck,
Nice.
no, well, man, coffee's like $3.50 or whatever. Like, what the hell?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Anyhow, so last episode, you guys actually found these bandits that were kind of harassing Dredgewater, and we managed to kill them right in the middle of the tavern, the local tavern, the Blackleaf, I believe it is, Blackleaf Inn. And including one guy that was clearly a sorcerer. So you do this quite publicly. You're like almost local heroes now, and you're able to keep one of them alive, and you're able to substantiate between this guy, even though he speaks some kind of Gaelic, or well, not Irish Gaelic, but he's from Gaul, so he speaks French. He was kind of implying Mort, but then the letter you found in their rooms in the inn clearly indicates that Mort was asking them to just cause some damage, to harry you people, like to cause the town to stop trade going into town. Which, with the weevils in the flour, my goodness, it's getting a little rough. So, you're the lord of the establishment from Dredgetown. He's a little ticked off. Lord Washburn was not very happy. And so about maybe a month has gone by. I remember the last time you spoke to him, he said, well, gosh, if you guys have 40 friends, you want to go take this guy out. But he also made it really clear, listen, nothing can come back to me. Last thing he wants is an open warfare, declare war on Von Mort. Because he's just really not in that kind of position, But anyhow, let us roll the dice and see what happens. 6. Oh, okay.
Zoom has built-in brand protection.
Yeah. So here we go. You're the people have continued to be, the crops haven't been that great. The food's, just not running out, but it's like, not a great turnip harvest, not a great, not a great, wheat harvest so far. They're kind of waiting. And um, you realize there are people like starting to gather in the town square, and it's like kind of like almost a riot. There's a bunch of the populace, a bunch of the farmers, a bunch of the local populace, and they're outside the sheriff's office. They're accosting a couple of Washburn's men that are in Dredgewater itself, and it's clear they you can hear from the clamor of voices. They want to know what's going to get done. Like, we're starving here. We're not sure if we're really going to make it. You're a lord, you're a protector, and they're talking to Washburn through his men, kind of harassing the heck out of a couple of these guys who are looking really kind of like not sure if they want to be there. They're sitting there in their leather armor with their little short swords and just looking as if maybe they don't want to deal with the populace at all. And in the meantime, our good sheriff is not looking terribly happy about the entire thing at all.
Is the sheriff in the middle of that, or is he standing to the side?
Sheriff Hassel's, kind of in the middle of this. He looks like he'd rather be anywhere else right now, and he's trying to field questions when people say, "Listen, I'm not a farmer. I don't have a what? Do you think I've got a store of wheat in my house? Listen, I mean the same stuff you are. Tend to your fields. Things will look up. It'll be all right. It'll be all right, right? Right?" And he kind of looks over at Wolford. The heroes of there's the heroes of Dredgewater, right there. I mean, tell them, Wolford.
What's going on here? And I kind of like swagger right in the middle between them and the soldiers.
And one of the women is, what we'd like to know is, what are we going to do about this? The Lord's probably got all kinds of stuff stored up in his walled little town there. I'm sure they're not missing any meals, but I had to give me Jimmy like just a little bit last night. My children are going to starve. I'm not sure if the crops are going to come through that well or not, and I'm not sure if what we got is going to keep us through the winter. Maybe Washburn's got some of his stores he could give to us. Maybe help his people, being the Lord protector and all.
That's reasonable to me. That's a good point. Sure, there's no way to help these villagers.
And Vassal looks at you like, whose side are you on?
Well, I'm just trying to help.
What about trade? Is trade still being blocked to and from town?
And one of the farmers said, "Who knows if trade's being blocked or not? But after what happened to the men that were coming back in here from some of the other towns, you think they really want to come through here and risk being hung from the trees?"
I see.
Well, maybe we can go see if we can escort a caravan to bring some food if we have what to trade with.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe you could escort somebody to go bring us some food to help with the trade a little bit. What are we going to trade for it? Well, Washburn's got to have something. And then get people looking at each other saying, we've got some firewood.
Well, we've heard, I suppose we could ask for an audience with his lordship again.
That's
So
right,
we
an
can-
audience with his lordship.
Washburn's not there, right? He's hiding
No,
away.
Washburn's not there.
Oh,
got
yeah, no,
a couple of his representatives, a couple of his guys are just in town, rally to pick up some supply, maybe to get some eggs, who knows? And they're just looking like green face as Sheriff Vassal, like, man, what am I doing here? Why am I wearing this livery right now?
Mhm.
Nothing fancy, but they've got his symbols on. They're clearly in his employ, And they look like they might have eaten a little better than everybody else around here.
Mhm. Oh, let's go. Let's see. Maybe we can help Lord Washburn with this situation. Why not?
Help Lord Washburn. Yeah, maybe you can get him to help us. Maybe open up some of those supplies, some of those coffers. He's got to have something. Yeah, that's right. And so the people are really looking kind of pissed. And you know what? Make me a nice prestige roll there, Wolford.
All right.
And let's see. I can hear Jason right now. It's prestige roll, Ivan. The prestige. He's trying to calm this crowd down.
Total of 9.
Okay. You know, maybe it's because you're the local hero of Dredgewater. But you know, it seems like let Wolford go talk to him. Yeah, he'll help us out. Yeah, good old Wolford. You know, he slaps your back. And one of Washburn's men, you know, it's like running right up to you. Yeah, good old Wolford. He'll help you.
I lean over to Brother Dawson and said, "We better be ready to run if this goes bad."
Yes.
I wouldn't want to have to fight these people.
Well,
No.
let us talk to Washburn. Perhaps the key to solving this issue lies with paying Lord Mott a visit.
Right.
So you're heading over to Washburn's, you know, going over to Dredgetown. Pretty easy. You've got his 2 men there, you know, with you, and they're more than happy.
Yeah, I'm sure
To
they're
go with you.
concerned.
You know, Sheriff Bassel, oddly enough, is more than happy to go pay Lord Washburn a visit as well, you know, because it's not in town, and so they take him to the short. You know, it's really right down the road, so to speak. You can see it from Dredgewater, really. So you enter through his gates. You know, he's got some high walls there, you know, protecting the compound. You've been in there before. It's not huge, you know, but it's clearly fortified. There are you know places for horses in there, places for his guards, his basic servants. You know, it's still not opulent by any means. You know, the guy's got some holdings, but you know, not that you of anyone really know what rich is. Maybe Wolford had seen some from his lord up, you know, Norfolk, but that's not this.
This ain't it.
This ain't it. This is just a guy with a little bit more than everybody else that you know owns the place and has some men to kind of back him up. And that's about that. Yeah, let's see. But yeah, you can, you know, no problem. You can get an audience with him. His men, you know, go in there. They're already talking to other members about the practice. Right, we almost died. And Vassal's like, I think I should sleep here. I don't think I should go back to the town for a while. And in the meantime, one of the other guards, well, who's going to be the sheriff? Well, so we're not going to have a sheriff if I'm dead. And, you know, the finger pointing and the arguments are going back and forth quite a bit.
Let us see if Lord Washburn can talk to us now. I think this qualifies us something urgent.
All righty. So, you know, Washburn, you know, is sitting in his passes for dining room, his hall. Send them in. And already his, you know, you can clearly see some of his men have already been talking about riots. Riot. What do the people want? What are the whites supposed to do for them? Gentlemen?
Lordship,
Lord.
the people of the town are hungry, Lord. Between the weevils and the doings of Lord Mott, people are hungry. They grumble and wonder if you have stores of food to share with them.
And he stands up. Everything leads you to like, you know, out of the hall a little bit, or just there's a window carved in it. He pulls back this hide. Everything you see out here, these are my lands. Those are my people tending my flocks. Those are my deer. These are my crops. Without me, these people have nothing. And they want me. What do they want me to give them? Do you see fields in here? Do you see deer in here? What are we going to do? Give them the horses? Sure, we have something here, but this is my house. This is my holdings. I'm not carrying a whole store full of stuff for all these people. If we open up everything we have here, we'd all starve.
What of Lord Mott? Does he not owe restitution to us for having
Food.
killed the men?
Food of my lords. What I wouldn't do to get back at him. He's been a thorn in my side for as long as I can remember. People tell me the trade is slow now because people fear another attack.
Maybe we could help. Protect some traders, if that would help.
Or go after his livestock?
Right? For cattle, it's been a while.
Does he have sheep? Does he have, probably has grain stored up in his manor? Does he
I'm
not
certain.
owe us?
I'm certain
what
he
he has
does. No. There's trade coming to him, not directly through here, but on the roads just east of here.
Would be a shame if some of that would be redirected.
It would be a
Maybe-
tremendous shame.
So if some kind of block on the road would encourage them to come a little further our direction.
Risky. Somebody give me a prestige roll. Wolford hasn't said a damn thing. No. It's going to be somebody else.
Oh boy. Are you good at this, Jarek? Or
Let me see. A procedural.
Prestige. I think you got something like a prestige of 2, right?
No, I've got a prestige of 1.
Oh, 1. Okay.
I got
I think-
0.
Okay, well then I will.
I think you always roll badly, but yeah, for that particular skill.
4.
4. I don't think the last thing I want coming back to me is banditry.
It's what?
It's going to make me banditry. It's going to make me no better than more. It's a good idea, but
Perhaps there is a way around this. Have you a map of the area? Where's the trade route? I want to see.
We have a bit of a map. Hold on for 1 second. And he sneezes a mighty sneeze. Yeah, we have a bit of a map, and he pulls out this sheet and he's spreads it on the table. It's very crude.
Show me if
showing
there's a main trade route, something that perhaps we can use. Is there a fork in the road leading to our village as well? A point where we might deviate traffic instead of sending it his way, sending it ours.
You can convince some trade to come our way. That would be fantastic. But no, I don't want anything. Don't want anything diverted by force, because that will come back to me immediately.
No, your lord.
Other ways to change routes for these traders.
My lord, the will of man is often easily influenced by promises of reward. And when one can reward better than another, one can usually persuade quite easily.
Well, what do you suggest? What do we reward with? Thinking about Mortis, he's a bastard, but he's got influence. He's got more than I have. His men are well trained, and a couple of soldiers start to look. You know, the couple of his guards start to look a little insulted. Well fed, well trained. You might be able to. I'd love to find a way to take that bastard out entirely.
We have Father Jarek with us. He's a man of God. I'm sure that some of these traders will listen to him. They're good Christians.
It's possible.
One would hope that using me as a conduit, the Lord could persuade them to the needs of our people.
Well, I don't mind if you give that a try, but nothing, no violence, nothing that's going to sound of banditry. But you know, the other thing is, a full-on attack on Mort would be disastrous, and I can't afford an actual conflict.
Now, do we look like violent men, my lord?
Yes, you do. And a good thing you are. But man, if we could strike back at him somehow. You know what I'd like you to do while you're on this mission to talk to people and see if convince some traders it might be safe to come here and perhaps spare some of their goods. We'll just take a look around his holdings, see if there's a way, something you think that might work to.
I mean, while we're in the area, it wouldn't hurt to have more information.
And nothing can come back to me, you understand? But if you can kill him,
Yes.
or somebody close to him.
We'll have to see what his stronghold is like, but probably there's something we can do to get his attention off of us.
And if that does mean relieving someone of their earthly bonds, I suppose that is the way it is intended to be.
You're my kind of priest, Father.
Yes, we're blessed to have a saint among us.
See what you can do.
I'd like to study this map, Lord, for a bit, if I may, before I leave.
Of course, of course.
Father Smith, perhaps you would be so kind as to pick up some supplies from the village.
I think I can manage.
A bit of wine, a bit of bread, a bit of milk, and a bit of honey, if you please. Not too much, just
enough to get us by.
Like
in the meantime, breakfast. You may join me for breakfast as well. And he starts yelling to people, and as Brother Johnson's bring up the map, a large amount of eggs, what looks like sausage, and so some gravy, and some porridge, and one would get the impression that his crying poverty might be a little bit disingenuous.
His stores are not quite empty. We get it.
I study the map looking specifically for a crossroads, right? In the forest, preferably, that leads either to Mott's territory or to our village, right?
Right. Yeah, what you actually have to do is go north through Northwood a little bit, the trail where the bodies were hung. North of that, there's a split, where it diverts actually east of here, past Eastwood, and then clearly it's going toward Budamad Mort's lands, and then the regular trail. So that's probably the major fork you would see where traffic is going to divert one way or the other.
Yes. So I will gather the supplies that I requested, and I huddle with Wolfherd and Jarek. There is something I might attempt, a conjuring at the crossroads to divert traffic this way. I think perhaps through trickery we might achieve what we dare not attempt via force of arms. I'll strike a bargain with the spirits of the forest and see if I can do this.
Are you sure that is safe, Brother Dunstan?
Nothing
That
is
seems.
safe. Nothing is safe, Father.
Oh,
But
I will add another prayer for you tonight.
Well, you just take care of our souls and let him take care of the trickery, Father. It's simple.
This is the only way I sleep at night, Mr. Wolford. The only way.
I shall be headed for the crossroads before. Shall be headed there to get there by sunset.
Yeah, that's easy. It's not that long of a trip really to get to the crossroads itself. You do have to go through a bit of Northwood, and close to where you're heading out of Northwood itself. There's a spot where that trail goes through where it's not that thick. So you're not going through a majority of that part of the wood. It's getting a little on the dark side. You're a bit before the crossroads.
All right, before we leave the castle, Ivan,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and use my spanking new purse value of 2 to see if between the weapons we looted from these guys and whatever goats I have left from the wolf hunt, I can get a better mail shirt from the castle blacksmith.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because mine is poor, so I'm not shooting for excellent, but if I can at least get a good one, one that's not falling apart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much going to take most of your
expensive stuff,
wealth, so to speak. But you're able to get one that's in much, much better shape.
All right. As long as it's just upgrade from poor to good, which doesn't add a bonus, but my sword breaks, at least I can fight still. Excellent.
Mm. Does the Lord Stronghold have a church?
Not a church. The church is in town. There's just kind of like a passable chapel, but it's like it's an altar.
Okay.
You can certainly use it.
No active chaplain.
No.
Okay. You said there's an altar. Doesn't have a fountain by chance, does it?
Sure.
I just, I wish to cleanse my cross in some holy water, some blessed water. Maybe polish it up a little bit. It's gotten dirty over time. Am I being clear that I want to improve the quality of my iron cross?
Oh, well, you have to pray hard, Father.
Okay.
That's going to be, how hard is that going to be? No, that's hard.
Okay. Now with this dice, 5.
5 total.
5 total.
It
Yes,
looks a
that's
lot. It looks a lot nicer.
yeah, looks shinier. I appreciate it. The Lord works in mysterious ways.
Looks burnished now, Father.
It's burnished. But give me a luck roll.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Jim. Well, at least when the combat comes around, you'll be doing great.
10.
Oh,
10.
thanks.
10, including your luck. Your luck.
My including my -1 modifier. Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
You're cleaning it. You're burnishing it. It's you're praying. There is in this little altar what looks like a silver cross.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's kind of hung over there.
Hmm.
It's there.
Uh-huh.
You can take it if you want to. It is technically stealing.
Is it stealing if I return it?
It's
With every
borrowed.
intent,
Yes.
with every intent to turn a man of the cloth, taking a holy item to make good use of, and return to its place of belonging.
I like the way he thinks.
Is that stealing?
For the good of the community.
Absolutely.
This is between
Yes.
you and your God. So you're taking the silver cross.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you're thinking on these things. Yeah. Wilford's
He's
got his
praying on it.
spanking
He's-
new mail. And Jarek, see, well, he's got this cross, which may or may not, maybe somebody will notice it's
What
gone,
condition
man.
is the silver cross in?
Oh, it's let's see. That's right. We got this. It's excellent.
That's
Beautiful.
what-
Beautiful little
That
cross,
is excellent. And as my offer of good faith in returning the item, I will leave my personal iron cross in its place.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Okay. Fantastic. So, as you're just about leaving the woods, you're trying to get out. You two things happen all at once. You notice there's some really large webs, like much larger than like a normal spider might make in some of the trees. And that same moment, you hear this kind of like crack. And if you look up just fast enough, you see that there's this impossibly large spider just dropping from the trees right towards Brother Dunstan.
Uh-oh. Is everybody
Oh,
with me
dear.
or am I alone?
Well,
in
yeah,
this
no, you're not. I
adventure?
mean, you
Okay,
guys
cool.
are together. I mean, he was just selected randomly.
Cool.
I'm gonna try
Uh,
to run and shield bash it to see if I can bat it away from him.
Okay.
Yes.
Rush at it behind my shield.
So you're taking taking one for the
And-
team. All right.
And what? Meanwhile, story-wise, I will be running after Brother Dunstan to remove him from the zeroed-in space where the spider projected to drop.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Excellent. So you're gonna try to tackle him out of the kill
Yeah.
zone, the kill box.
Mhm.
Okay, good. All right, Wilford.
All right, so let's make this fun and I'm not using my sword, so we're gonna go without a bonus, just with my regular
Okay.
body. So I'm just
All right.
rushing this thing, and that's an 11 on the dice, so 15.
Okay.
Nice.
Bam. So you bash this thing. So you're preventing it from hitting Brother Dunstan. Go ahead, Jarek.
Or I'm assuming
And
this is a body check.
Um, Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a 4.
Mhm.
The good, the bad news is you don't quite, get. I mean, Brother Dunstan, maybe Brother Dunstan was just had his weight on the wrong foot, so you kind of like collapse into him. The bad news is you don't push him out of like where the spider is kind of still landing. The good news is that like you're not in the way, so to speak, at that
Oh.
exact moment. So the spider does take damage, but it's still, single-mindedly attacks Brother Dunstan.
Jeez. So okay. So it's a
It's-
combat roll.
Yeah, it's
I
combat
have-
roll. Unless you want to do something else.
Well, I put my hand in a pouch held by the rope at my waist, and I draw a strange alchemical powder and throw it at the spider while screaming.
Yeah. I'm sure Wilford has given you enough time to do that. Bashing the spider.
Yeah. So I scream, Espíritu de Fuego, protégeme! And I try to burn it with magical fire. And that's a 15.
Oh,
on
okay,
the
right
dice.
on.
So
So what's that look like?
the powder that I threw, it just catches fire, right? So it's like a little spray of fire that hits the spider.
Excellent. So like the little hairs on it are burning and everything like
Right,
that. You can
right.
see this. Man, this thing's got a lot of eyes. It really does. And they glint in that light.
And
And
if I get a chance, I'm gonna start hacking at it if it's still alive.
yeah. Oh, yeah, it's still alive. The fangs on this
All right.
thing. I mean, like, ooh, you wouldn't want to get those in you. I mean, these will leave a mark.
I really don't.
Horrible. Horrible. All right.
All right. So got a total of 9. 4 plus 5 is 9.
Okay, well, that's too bad.
Ouch.
This thing is fast. It's got eyes all around its head, and it's also like you didn't quite miss it, but you're glancing off of the hide of this thing, and it's like hitting like saddle leather.
Okay.
And man, this thing is huge.
That means I'm fatigued, right? It attacks me then, right?
Yeah.
All right.
It's just like not that it hit, attack you as such, but like just that hit, and you didn't really expect it to be that tough. And just that telegraphing of that force back up your arm, like, oh, yeah, that's boy, that's awful. That's an awful thing. All right. Anybody do anything yet? Okay. Well, in that case, the spider is really pissed at Wolford.
All right.
Oh.
Combat roll. This time I roll a 13.
That's good.
8 plus 5, 13.
That's very good. So you managed to injure the creature just a little bit. This time you managed to get him like more of a stab than a
Yes,
slash,
stab-
which seems to work
stab it, but
seems to work a little
expensive.
better.
Yeah.
Seems to work a little better.
Must hit it in the weak spots. Try it again, Dunstan.
I start making twisting motions with my fingers and whispering hechizo y sortilegio, atrapa sus patas, and so I'm trying to bind its legs to at least slow it down and see if I can break a leg off or something.
Ooh.
Just manipulating it from where I am. That is a total of 9, which does not sound very impressive.
You could see the legs of this creature get like almost a little bit bound for a second, but it's breaking out of whatever eldritch power you're doing to that. And just the strain of doing that as its legs kind of like break through. Maybe you can see the snares that you placed for it. Nobody else could. But it's breaking that, just kind of like a snap in your mind. Are you praying, Jarek? What are you doing? This isn't an initiative game, man. You just like start
Yeah.
shouting before something
Yeah.
else.
No, if by praying you mean pulling out my axe and trying to release this unholy creature from this plane of existence, yes, I'm praying very hard.
Did I get injured from
Yeah.
spider?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
you did.
fatigued,
Yeah,
right?
you
Fatigue
Yeah.
level, yeah.
12.
12. Oh,
Nice.
oh,
Natural
nice.
12?
No.
No,
Oh.
the natural. Let's see, but still cool. Excellent. Yeah, you definitely injure this thing. It is not happy, and you actually hear like kind of a scream come out of the, a little high pitched scream out of this thing, which looks a little bit like this.
Oh,
Look at that
man.
thing. I'm not sure if that's one of Todd's. I know I
Awesome.
think he did. I think he did a bunch of illustrations for us, but that's a yeah. It's hideous.
Excellent. So as it staggers back from Jarek's axe blow, I'm gonna rush in and try to stab it again in one of its many eyes. And that's a 15.
Oh yeah. Okay. It's only got 7 eyes now.
Excellent. Excellent.
It's only got 7 eyes now, and it's pissed now between all the it's really not very happy. And let's see, now it's got Jarek and Wolford trying to kill it. Jarek, the spider lunges for you. Maybe it's because it's got the eye closer to Wolford got poked.
Uh-huh.
It's lunging for you with those horrible looking fangs.
Oh, wonderful. Four.
4. Oh. Okay. Well, you didn't actually critically fail or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I had that going for me, which
Okay.
is nice.
Maybe this thing didn't get time to really inject you, but you do get a better battering from those fangs. They don't quite go in.
Okay.
But what it feels like, had they gone in, that really would have sucked. But you're definitely fatigued at this point.
Yep. That tracks.
I bent down and I grabbed 2 rocks, right? Each about the size of my hands, right? And so I whisper, Piedra y tierra, por la ley de simpatía, les conjuro, and I smash them together, trying to get a piece of the earth to do the same motion against the spider, right? So to crush it between using the smaller rocks as a sympathetic thing for bigger rocks to crush the spider. So here we go. No crushing going on today. That's an 8.
No crushing going on.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
That's an 8, but that thing is really tough, right?
It is very tough. It is very tough. And well, let's see. Let's be fair about this. The earth does fly.
Who does it hit?
Well, there's 2 of them, right? One from each side. Wolford and Jarek both get clunked by large rocks that were meant for the spider. But maybe you guys are just in the way. Maybe it was just,
Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
It's the evil invisible wizards from Mars. They've arrived.
It's probably just because of melee. You're firing into melee. Is really what it was,
Well, I'm gonna keep hacking at this thing.
Yeah, me too. Gotta bring this thing down.
Hey, Jarek, you're first.
11.
11?
11.
Okay. Yeah, you unfortunately don't really connect with it well enough, but you get its attention
Oh,
enough
wonderful.
that enough that it bites you.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh,
So you're now, let's see, what are you now?
Battered?
You're not fatigued. You're
Nope.
injured.
I'm injured,
Oof.
yeah. Because the rock battered me.
Yeah, that
Oh,
battered you.
Yeah.
You're injured now. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty, brother. So the thing is actually managed. Maybe it's just because you're a little bit disoriented because of being hit by a rock. Actually, it managed to get its fangs in you. But no, it's got its fangs in you. So Wilford, what are you doing with this?
well, the only thing I can do right now is try to attack him and distract him from killing Father Jarek. And we get a total of 13 again.
Okay. This manages to you manage to get its attention.
You're dead.
You got its attention. It's oof. What is it gonna do right now?
Just its attention?
It's got its attention.
Oh, goodness.
So, what are you guys gonna do something, or is the spider gonna do something right now?
Well, I tell you,
but
so
he
don't
got
tell
its
me-
attention. Is he
Yeah,
hurt
I thought there
or
was
something?
more.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hurt. You definitely heard it.
Oh, okay. He heard
Okay.
it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
If
thought
you're
it just-
sick, there's everybody gets hurt. I mean, there's no combat role without somebody getting hurt.
Yeah, no, my
Oh.
bad. I thought something else was going to happen. That's why
No.
we all just went like,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I
what's-
thought there was more
we're
coming.
waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Oh no.
no.
The blood, the green blood gouts from the puncture wound.
Viento, llévate la araña. And I blow it, trying to conjure the wind to blow the spider away. See if we can buy some time at least, or maybe it'll smash against something, a tree or something.
It's just real quick.
Yes, 15. There we go.
Is the fang lodged in me?
It was until this incredible
Okay.
gust of wind blows this huge creature, off of you. And the fangs. So maybe that's why the poison didn't actually get into you,
Oof.
because the fangs are being pulled out, but this huge creature is being smashed against one of the trees. And it's like clearly, I mean, very, very injured at this point. And it's like deciding it's going to scamper back up the tree.
I'm gonna try and smack it before it goes away.
Of course you are.
Yes. Squish the bug. Squish the evil bug.
All right, that's 9 plus 5, 14.
And how does this creature, this horrible travesty,
Well,
Of nature
as it starts scampering off the tree, I knock it to the ground with my shield and get in the soft underbelly.
Nice.
Damn.
and you're covered by just green ichor and this nasty, and this thing, which it's got to be 400 pounds, just like slams into the earth.
Brother Dunstan, is this the spirit you were calling?
I didn't even try to call any yet.
But you're not sure that you didn't call this creature.
I don't know why it came, and it did seem to lunge for me at first. I wonder what dark powers Mott has in his service that they might have foreseen our arrival at this place and tried to hinder us.
Perhaps, Brother Dunstan.
Tell you what, it's a hell of a hunter.
Maybe one should redirect one's prayers. One plays with things of the darkness. One may have the darkness play with them. That is all I'm saying about it. And this time I'm now going to try and pray and use my silver cross to maybe heal myself a little.
Your leg does hurt a lot.
Yeah.
You can walk on it, but man, I mean, it's right in the quad. You took this really just awful. I mean, the other two fellas are kind of banged up, a little battered,
Sure,
but
really hurt. Yeah.
Nat 12.
get out. Whoa.
With 15 total.
Whoa. Nice.
Wow.
The
That's-
natural 12 is like a crit, so
Yeah, let's see. And
Yeah, fatigue just takes rest. Can you try and heal me, Father, as well? I have some minor wounds here.
no.
Concentrating on my prayers.
Guys, it's one of those things. It could be a crisis of faith, Father. It could be a crisis of faith. And I mean this only in that you see these three wounds. You see the rips in your leggings. You saw the blood, and it would be as if the stigmata were gone. And you look, and you feel kind of a warmth in your leg as you're praying, with your eyes closed, and you look, and the skin is intact. It just aches a little bit. But is this black magic? What is this? Or was it just an answer to prayer?
Power of prayer,
The
my
power
friend.
of prayer. And so you are now just fatigued because it was a critical success. That was pretty amazing.
All right.
You may pray over both friends and see if
I
God will
would
be as
also-
merciful
yes.
with them.
Okay.
I'm fatigued too, so it's probably,
Okay.
You may pray at
Um,
once. So over
just
the
do
two of
it.
them.
Okay, one prayer good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a 9 total.
9 total.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. Your friends are more fatigued than battered.
Excellent. Damn.
Good.
Man, I haven't took the gloves off here.
Well,
Power of prayer. Power of that silver cross. Can you really give it back? Can that really be what God wanted? Your friends are more fatigued than battered. I'm here to
And
help.
we'll point out his way. My intent is to do right. And if God sees otherwise, then I think sees that right is a different path, then I shall follow that path.
Yeah. I would continue to the if you guys want to continue to the crossroads, go right ahead.
Yeah, I think so.
The dice just created there might be a giant spider right about there.
Yeah.
Sorry,
nice.
man.
So when we get to the crossroads, I move to the edge of the woods by the road, right? And I start looking until, I grab a couple of acorns from the ground. I look for a spot where I see mushrooms, right? Like toadstools. And, if there's a fairy ring, even better. But if not, a single toadstool will do. And
Is this the time to get high? Is this really the place?
no, I'm not picking it. I'm looking
Oh,
for
okay.
it, right? And so when I find it, I set down on a leaf a piece of the bread, and I pour the honey on top of it, and on one of the acorns, I pour a little bit of the milk, and in another a little bit of the wine, and I set it on the ground in front of the toadstool, and then I start my spell, right? And so I time it to coincide with the hours of twilight, right? When the sun is no longer visible, right? And I say something like, en la hora del ocaso, el dintel entre los mundos se abre. Hadas del bosque, escuchen mi llamado. And so I am counting on the hour of twilight, which is the threshold between night and dark, right? So it's between the world of mortals and the realm of fairy. And I summon the fairies of the wood with my offering. And I wish them to ensorcel this section of the wood, right? Make whatever cart comes this way inevitably head in the direction of our town, right? To confuse, an illusion to confuse. So no matter which way you approach the road, you're always going in the direction of which one is ours? I forget.
And Dredgewater.
Dredgewater.
Runner.
Right. And
Interesting.
So
All right.
so and I offer, the wine and the bread and the honey and a promise to pay it tenfold if they will do this for the next moon.
Okay, man, roll it up. Let's see.
How ridiculously difficult is this going to be?
Well, I think it's gonna be one of those things like, where Jarek, prayed for the family to be protected. I'm not sure if I can, or I'm not sure if I'm gonna tell you.
Let's see if the dice decide for us.
Yeah.
Oh, 9.
Okay.
That seems to be the number of the night. Everything is a 9. Can I lobby for a +1 for the offerings and the?
Oh yeah, no, I think the offering was pretty good. And are you guys sleeping for the evening?
Yeah, you got some
Yeah.
rest.
Yeah, I think would be good to rest for the night.
All right.
I've got at least an hour and a half of prayers to do before bed. Just general prayers. They're not ones with intent to actually do
Okay.
anything mechanically.
Gotcha. All right.
Like brushing my
And-
teeth, brush my teeth, pray for Brother Dunstan, do my mouthwash, pray for Brother Wolford, get into bed, pray 3 more times for Brother Dunstan.
See, Dunstan, you can go ahead doing your things. Jared will save your soul.
See if my callings are answered as well.
In the morning, looking at the offerings you put out, they all seem to be gone.
Ooh, cool.
Looking, that whole area where the thing is, you also see, as you're looking for where the wine was, where the honey was, you also see like under one of the broader leaves, what looks like a miniature pair of feet and ankles, but they're as if the person's laying down, like a very small person. Everything else is kind of covered up by this broad leaf.
I will approach slowly.
And the person would have to be the size of like a squirrel or something, but it was like usually miniature facsimile of like human feet and legs.
And I will sit down in front of it. And it's morning, right? We just.
It's morning.
Right.
And it's almost as if, like, with the way the feet are, it's almost as if the person is on their stomach. Or creature.
Right. So I sit down and I say softly, Spirit of the forest, dawn has come. Are you well?
No answer.
Some sort of elf.
Jarek, are you watching Brother Dunstan?
Nope, I'm not. Nope.
Talk to the ground.
Nope.
Nothing happens.
I've learned that Brother Dunstan does his thing,
So I
and the less I know, the less I have to pray.
I take another little piece of bread from my pouch and I set it down in another acorn, right? Make a little dish out of the empty acorn and say again softly, wake up, spirit of the wood. And break bread and share breakfast with us.
Nothing happens.
Jeez.
No movement. Sound, nothing.
Jeez, did I kill the elf? Come on, man.
I don't know.
It's probably
you can't see most of its body. You can see like, it's like the calf, feet and like not even all the calves. You can't even see the knees, the back of the knees.
Hopefully you didn't just conjure its lower half and
yeah. Well, yeah, it's probably drunk and passed out is what it is, but I touch the sole of the foot gently. I poke it with my index finger gently.
You move the foot a little bit and it's got that kind of stiff, cold feeling.
Oh no.
Like it might be like a dead animal.
Jeez. Well, I tried to clear away the debris and get a good look at it.
What you see appears to be a roughly human figure. Proportions are a little off. It's got its hands tied behind its back.
Oh.
It's not naked, but it's got like some short, not a loincloth, but like kind of almost like shorts, like small clothes on, and a ragged shirt. The shirt has some blood on it. It's face down. It's kind of got longish blonde hair. Around the head and neck looks like stains of blood, especially around the neck area, like on the ground itself. Maybe a drop of blood on the neck a little bit.
So I'll gently grab it and try to flip it face up and bring it closer and get a good look.
This thing has a wicked, horrible gash.
Damn it! It's the same thing they did to the men in the trees, right?
Well, actually, the men in the trees look better than this. This is like somebody. I mean, like could have cut his head off practically, but just wicked gash. And like the blood looks. I mean, it looks. As you look, it's like it's still a little wet. Like this probably happened last night while you slept.
Yes. So I pour out my water bottle, and I sort of clean the body and wash off the blood. I try to remember if there's anything about, funeral rites for the fairy folk.
That sounds like a mind roll.
And that's a 13.
Yeah, there are some things you can remember from some of your obscure forbidden texts.
Right, so maybe it involves.
But how to bury them at the base of a tree and
right, and to put flower petals on it or something, yeah. And so I do that, and
you hear above you as you're laid them, if you laid them into rest and buried them and put the petals there, and you hear this voice over you in the tree. You know our ways. He didn't deserve it, but you know our ways. Very impressive. It's just small. voice, not squeaky, but small.
This is truly an awful thing that has happened. I merely asked for aid and not wished harm on anyone. Can you tell me what happened, friend? And I start looking to see if I can see whoever's addressing me.
And it's kind of like, that time when there's a bird in the tree, you can hear the damn thing, it's driving you crazy,
But
you can't see it. And you can kind of like, is it sound coming from there? It sounds good. Wait a minute, and you kind of like catch a glimpse of a wing or something. But it's kind of like that. Like every time you think you might have seen something, and you hear them say, "One moon, and we get paid tenfold. The agreement stands.
Yes,
Don't you execute your own criminals?
that we do.
Some magic requires blood. And so it was, call it serendipity, if you will."
I understand. I thank you for your aid. And if this is the justice of the Fae, then let it stand
Remember, tenfold.
tenfold.
The justice of the Fae is the same no matter how tall you are.
Right. My thanks. I shall return by the next moon.
I know you will.
Nice. And so I back away and I go toward the rest of the group.
Jarek rocking back and forth at this point, or
Dunstan, what in the hell just happened there?
I'm gonna get up and go
Unforeseen.
use the restroom. As soon as I hear him ask what happened,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
Unforeseen complication of my plans, but the bargain is struck. And so
What bargain? And what's this about a moon? What?
well, for the next 4 weeks, the Fae of the forest will direct traffic to our village. Instead of going to Lord Mott's lands, they'll come to us, so trade can resume. In exchange, I shall pay 10 bottles of wine, 10 loaves of bread, 10 jugs of milk, and 10 jars of honey.
For a moment, I thought it was tenfold the blood.
That's not the bargain I struck.
and
That's
as
fine.
you're speaking, because of a die roll, which I'm really having a hard time believing, you hear like in coming from the north, like a convoy. Like you hear the horses, you hear the voices of people, see the dust, and you hear like these people that are and you hear them talking, and you get the idea that they're supposed to be going to Mort's, Budamad Mort's lands. And so which way is his lands? This way, pointing right towards. This is right towards Dredgewater.
Nice.
And several wagons kind of go by you. Maybe they don't see you because they're just so busy. Like, which way is Mort? Yeah, this way.
No, that's right. I was gonna say, let us hide in the woods. So,
Yes.
And to break in the fourth wall or whatever wall it is, I literally roll one of the things on my number 15 on my list is merchants.
Merchants.
No explanation
Nice.
of what merchants were. Nothing,
Nice.
but just like, or why, how I would use merchants at that moment. Merchants.
Awesome.
And that's what they did, because
Excellent.
I just resolved the last thing I rolled. And so, yeah, merchants.
Excellent.
That's awesome. Yay, dice.
So you literally watch you watch your plan for diverting trade at least towards Dredgewater. Whether they'll deal with the people of Dredgewater, who knows? But there's several carts that are going that way.
If they're heading in the right
It seems to have
direction.
worked. They're heading in the right direction. And so you watch them go.
I have to say, your elves do good work, Dunstan.
What's this business of elves?
Oh, he's got some elf friends who like milk and honey or something like that. You explain it to him. I'm just a warrior.
No need to concern yourself, Father. Let's just say that trade has resumed for the village of Dredgewater.
This is going to cost me extra prayers, isn't it, Dunstan?
It probably will.
Yes, okay.
And you all, having
Hey.
had a night of rest, feel fine. You know,
But
you're,
Jarek, I mean, do you think you should ever pray any less for us? Come on, man.
There are only so many hours in the day, Mr. Wolford.
Correct. So better make good use of them. And
I have
speaking of
meals
that,
to eat and sleep to get.
speaking of that, we're burning daylight. Let us go.
Indeed.
what's your plan? Where are you headed?
Well, we should head for Mort's lands, right? Take a look at his stronghold, see what kind of patrols they have, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, dang. All right. So you're able to follow the roads based upon Brother Dunstan's map, copied map or his understanding of the maps. And it takes a good part of the day. It really takes a day, so you're going to have to camp at night.
Hmm.
You're not accosted by any spiders or wolves or anything horrific.
Nice.
Every once in a while, Brother Dunstan can swear he hears something up in the tree. Just a little, for a while. Something. And sometimes all of you swear you can hear it. Sometimes Jarek swears he hears something. Maybe one time Jarek might have caught. Was that a little man? Couldn't have been. But there are no little corpses when you wake up. There's nothing has been molested. But you get to the point where you realize you're past, the lands of Washburn, and you're on the road heading towards what you understand is Vudimad Mort's lands, and all of a sudden, as you're kind of coming around a bend, you hear like horses coming your way. It sounds like several coming from the south, coming from the direction that you're going.
Quick, into the forest.
Yes.
And somebody give me a luck roll.
Luck?
I mean, go me.
I got a +1.
We'll go for it.
8.
8. Okay. Maybe it's just maybe the Fae are looking out for you. Who knows? But you're able to get in the woods like just in time, and just before like noise would the noise you make would alert somebody. But there's about 12 men that go by on horseback, clearly in Vudimad Mort's livery. Armed to the teeth. This is clearly a patrol. Really, decked out. The armor. You look at the armor, the physique, the weapons on these guys, and you understand a little better why Washburn just does not want to get in a conflict. Those guards of Washburn's wouldn't stand a chance against an equal number of these men. They've got scars. These guys have been in fights and lived. Maybe with each other, who knows? And they're just, Wolford can look at these men. These are tough men. These men have seen action. They probably fought off northern invaders. Who knows?
They look like real warriors.
Oh yeah.
Yes. First piece of information. Let's see if we can get closer.
Closer to what?
We're gonna let them pass by, right?
Yeah, we wait for them to pass by, obviously, before we discuss them.
Okay, I was making sure you didn't want to get closer to them.
Yeah.
No, no, no,
Hey,
no,
hey,
no.
fellas! Hey, wait for me now.
Oh, we want to get closer to Mort's. Oh. Hey, you guys!
Exactly. You're a bunch of sissies, ain't you? You know.
No.
Okay. Bunch of sissies, I told you. Okay. All righty. So, yeah, you don't come across any more patrols,
Yay.
you know. And you finally start to see you're seeing this, the same sort of things you'd see around Washburn's lands. You start to pass like homesteads. Not everybody's like dressed in black from head to toe and carrying weapons. They just like normal people. You start to see sheep. You start to see some cattle. You start to see chickens, and then you're getting closer and closer to like what's clearly like a town like Dredgewater, but it's nicer is the wrong word. It's better fortified. The condition of the buildings is better. The condition of the people seem to be better. Couple of people are giving like sideways glances, but nothing super alarming. You don't see any people in Mort's livery, but you see, up on kind of a hill, a stronghold, and most of it is like covered by woods. Like it's just not out in the open the way that the Washburns is. So there's some old gnarled oaks and things near it and everything. But it's a stronghold that looks much tougher, much better built, better stonework, thicker stone, thicker oak gates. You can clearly see some guards on it now. In the distance, yes, you see little stick figures practically. But clearly, Mort has a stronghold.
Heavy patrols.
Very well defended.
Somebody's probably building something in Jim's driveway again. He just told us in the chat that he's hearing funny noises. So last time he had to go early. His neighbor was building something in the middle of the night.
It was assembling shelves at the driveway at 9:30 in the evening.
Nice. So that's a very fortified keep.
Yeah.
A lot of patrols.
You see, like now that you're like in a bit of the town proper, and once again, people give you looks, but it's kind of look you'd give it a stranger, nothing like really untoward.
Maybe we should just go to the tavern and have a drink. See what we hear.
That's a good idea.
So, tavern's called the Green Griffin.
All right. I keep my shield up in case a crazy wizard rides by. A chaotic wizard rides by.
And as you go in, like it's darker. There's clearly a joint of meat, and a pot of soup on. And man, it smells better. It smells better than the black leaf. looks better than the black leaf. It just looks like these people just have more. And this kind of tall bartender with just a sort of like a whitish mustache. It's like just kind of chiseled almost. Good looking fellow, probably in his late 40s, starting to go gray, but just appears to be really built, everything like that. Travelers, eh? What can I do for you? Merchants? I know you're expecting some traders in soon.
Yeah, we're just passing by. We'd like to have some beer.
Yeah, we have some nice ale so far. The barley crop's been pretty good this year.
It's a nice town. What's its name?
God, what the hell is the name of this town?
Mortville.
Yeah, it's Mortville. Of course it is. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, Mortville. The lands of Udavon Morth.
I'm from up in Northridge, so I don't know this area well. You
Ah.
must have a kind lord to live so well. Generous.
It's a prosperous area. Kind? Mm. I don't know as I'd call him kind.
Good.
What lord is kind, anyhow?
Are you gearing up for a war? We saw a lot of fighting men riding by.
Ah, horse patrols. Keeps the peace.
You got a lot of Northman raiders here?
Sometimes, not too often.
They're a pest. But
Every once in a while.
Unlander can't handle.
No, of course not. Of course not. Every once in a while, I suppose they fight off some raiders from Washburn. Upstarts. Oh, upstart lord, ways north. I don't know, Washburn doesn't just take him out entirely. What I understand, he raids some of the farmsteads up that way, of our way.
There's a lot of these attacks?
Oh, I don't know. That's what the patrols tell me anyway. I don't know why they don't just take him out.
It would make sense to remove them, a pesky fly like that.
It would. But then again, I'm not a politician. I'm not a leader. I'm just a Merkel, your humble barkeep.
Very nice. So I sit back there and look around and said, I was hoping to be able to find some work, although there are already a lot of soldiers here. You know, if he still hires men at arms up in the castle?
Oh, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. If you can prove yourself, look, see him. You just mean you, right? No offense.
I travel with two holy men because it takes all their prayers to save my soul.
That gets quite the rise out of him.
Plus, some of these lands are dangerous. Figured my soul is more than worth the price of protecting these men.
We should all have an entourage.
Mortville is going in the second edition of the book.
Mortville.
We should all have we should all have such an entourage.
All right. So excellent.
I'm assuming that you guys probably want to, call it pretty soon, or at least split this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably, we take our beers to a table and I tell guys, maybe that's the way to get a look inside. I can at least ask for a job as a watchman, and maybe one of you can bless his chapel or something, and that way we can take a look inside.
That's a good idea.
Yep.
We could find out if he has.
But Wolfert likes it.
But we might find out if he has a chaplain of his own.
And that was going to be my next
Father
question.
Smith might introduce himself to.
Yeah, I was going to ask if there's a local church maybe where I can go pray.
Oh, the church. Yeah, we've
Hmm.
got a small kirk here, but the real kirk is in Mort's compound.
Hmm. Is there a father that presides over this church, or does he come down from
Give me a luck
Lord
roll.
Mort? No.
Come on now.
9.
9.
9 total.
You know, he pulls himself a draft. There was. You remember how you said that Mort must be a kind lord? I don't know what this last chaplain did, but he must have really got him upset. And he says, "Come here." He has to bring to the door of the tavern. You see over there on his stronghold there.
Hmm.
You see over that on that tower what looks like kind of like might be a branch or something hanging down. But if you look really close, you can see little bits of black cloth on it. And as you start to look a little bit more, it starts to resolve into like a skeleton. You're like, man, I think that's somebody hanging upside down by their feet that's been picked clean by the birds. It's really start.
Oh,
Oh, what? Oh,
Hey, must have said something to him and really ticked him off. But yeah, they're in need of a chaplain too. Hey, you all might get jobs.
well,
you mean to
look,
say? Oh dear! And
look at it this
I
way.
clutch onto my cross.
Look at it this way, Father. I'm sure he's in heaven.
Indeed. I don't
What a way to
know
go.
if it
Let's
was
say.
the most holy way to depart this plane.
Might even make it to sainthood. Is that kind of death like automatic grounds? From what I learned in church as a child.
Feel like some burial rites might be involved
Ah,
before one's soul is allowed to move on.
And as you sit there and it's kind of like, clearly shaken,
Mm.
put words in your mouth. And Merkel kind of leans in a little bit. See, that's a nice cross, Father. Is that real silver?
As real as good Lord provides.
you know why he travels with a
Why?
warrior.
Why do you ask, my friend?
I'm just a lover of things that are good quality. That's all.
Ah, and
Don't worry. If you stay here tonight, I won't be cutting your throat for it.
oh,
Well, that's very kind of you. I like you already, Barky.
yes, yes, that is so kind of you, sir.
Yeah, so I think we should feast on that beef that he has cooking there, and then maybe in the morning I can go and talk to the Lord, maybe see if I can earn some coin. It'd be good to work with other real warriors. No offense, brother.
Yeah, I'm
taking
afraid
the,
we're a little bit out of the salted pork. Where the hell are those traders? They were supposed to be here this morning. No idea.
Maybe some of this banditry you speak of.
oh,
Maybe yes. I had some kegs of beer to trade for that salted pork. They said they'd be here.
Well, I'm not a bad tracker. Maybe that's a good way for me to earn your Lord's graces. I can offer to see if I can track them down.
But his patrols, I don't know. I don't think they'd find them. But
Right.
I'll tell you what. I'll bet you tomorrow. I bet you tomorrow you could present your case to Mort himself, or at least to some of his guards. Usually, you have a few men come down here in the early morning, about 8, come in and grab some things here. But yeah, stay here tonight, and tomorrow maybe you can talk to some of them, and they might let you in. Maybe we'll get an audience with Mort himself.
That sounds like a plan.
Better you than me.
And that sounds promising. Ha!
And perhaps we'll stop it now and we'll have a session 3A.
It's a
Yeah.
good spot. It's a good
And so,
spot.
Jason, if you're watching, there'll be more. Not next week because I know Jose's got something going on,
Yeah.
and
that's
then
good stuff.
I know Jim's going to run Hex for us really soon.
Yeah.
So it's
But
dependent.
I would be okay wrapping this up, tying
Okay.
a bow on this before I do that. Just
Okay,
because
cool.
I don't want to leave it hanging. Like we get into Hex and we do that for a month, and
Right.
then we're
Right.
2 months away from it.
Right.
We did away with the September or with the cliffhangers at the end of seasons.
Right.
Yeah, so
That's-
Jose's out next Thursday, and then
Yeah.
so okay, so we have the 14th and the 21st because I can't on the 28th, but everything else
Okay.
should be fine.
Yeah, 14th and 21st, I think are. I
Von,
think are
Von,
good.
yeah.
I'll be
Gutermann
educated
must
when they're
die.
not.
Von Mort must die.
Kill Mort.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see.
We've been trying to figure out how to get there. That's the whole deal.
All of a sudden, I have this image of Father Jarek, but his robes are yellow with black piping, and it's Kill Mort.
Volume 1.
Look at his shirt.
Right.
That's that's fantastic. So just to be clear too, like today I rolled Riot. That was the first thing that was
Ooh.
on my list. Was Riot.
Oh,
So you guys, that was so there was the inciting incident was just that like more. I mean, was that Washburn wants you guys to do something. He wanted you to go, find more. We already talked about that. We might as well go look for more. But it was the next one was Riot. Next thing I rolled was 13 Giant Spider. So I'm like, okay, well, the giant spider's not going to be in his
Right.
compound. It could have been. I'm like,
Vicinity. Yeah.
but I'm like, okay, where are these guys going? All right,
sounds like a
giant
forest
spider.
hunter. Yeah, it's a dark
Yeah.
forest hunter. That was awesome. That's
Yeah.
that's the place to put it. Awesome.
All right, next thing that happened. What did I roll? I rolled 9. Prisoner executed.
Mm,
I had no idea what that was going to be.
that was the elf.
Yeah.
It could have
Yeah.
been. It could have been.
Could have been one of
It could
us.
have been. It could have been the guy that Lord Washington had. You could have already been Lord Mort's lands, and they could have executed a prisoner. Who knows what? I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, well, you've called the Fae here. I guess they have a prisoner. And then 15 was merchants. I'm like, you got to be effing kidding me. This guy's a spell. So there you're
Worked out
talking.
perfectly.
And then 11 was a patrol of Mort's men, which could have happened anywhere.
Right.
So you're on that way anyway, and and you very wisely hid because the spider was pretty awful.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was.
That thing is difficulty 12,
Gee,
health of
wow.
11, and you don't want to get a critical on it's awful. With the poison's different than in other systems, and then I rolled something else, which I'm not going to tell you what it was,
Right.
because
I'm just really glad
it
I
hasn't really happened yet.
I resisted my generalist instincts and bumped body all the way up to 4 early on.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I would have been dead here.
Yeah. So the combats are like, I mean, you're definitely, it definitely helped because you had the ability to heal yourself, and because Jarek actually rolled really well because you were pretty banged up at that point.
I rolled,
Hour of prayer.
Yeah,
rolled
however.
a lot of 4s and 5s today. That was like the number.
That's
It's like roll
nice.
5,
And
Yeah.
roll
usually,
4.
usually
It's a
with
4.
your skill, that's a good roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it's a really tough monster, then
That was the thing. It was a 12, and so it was like, and I could have reduced the difficulty of a little bit,
Nah.
but it was just
No.
because situationally. But it
It
was like,
worked.
I think it was the hardest thing was figuring out what to do with those claws, the rocks that you were. And I'm like, okay, well, they're not gonna like hit you, but like, okay,
Now,
it-
now
it's-
what we have to start doing though is trying to help each other overcome those high hits.
Numbers,
We gotta
yeah.
start thinking outside the box, and instead of attacking, see how we can help each other, right? Because when you got something that's so hard to hit, maybe you can do something that doesn't go against the 12, but that will lower the 12 for the next guy. We gotta work on that.
Right. I kind of tried to slow it down.
Yeah, it almost worked.
But it was a
except-
direct attack, right? My thought had I got a success is maybe instead of saying I hit it for damage, maybe I've paralyzed it, or at least I slow it down for Jose to smack, right? So that was the intent at least.
Right on. That's good. Yeah, the
Lots
spiders.
of fun. Ivan, you're a very good naive narrator.
Yes.
A lot of
Well, I
fun.
tried to give myself
Yeah.
some stuff to work with, but yeah, that was probably the toughest one was like prisoner executed. I'm like
Yeah,
okay,
that's
I guess, and then all of a sudden,
That was creepy.
That-
That was
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty
Really
interesting.
awesome.
It
oh,
was
little brother, you may wake up now. Like you could have walked away and nothing would have happened. But I was like, oh God,
Yeah. But it was interesting. It's like, did I mess up the spell? You
Yeah,
know, is it-
I had figured you had messed
No,
around.
and honestly, you probably
enough.
wouldn't have had any kind of contact with them except you rolled well
I
enough to know how
chose
to
to
bury
do
him.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Oh, that was good. I was so happy I rolled high on that one because it's like if I mess this up, they're gonna be
Yeah.
angry. It's gonna be awful.
yeah, and I figured this guy was just kind of like bemused, like, huh, wow, he's burying the prisoner right. And so and you really kind of back yourself into a corner with like, yeah, well, I'll pay you tenfold. Okay.
This the first thing came on in my mind. Is like, hopefully it's just a couple of bottles of wine and a couple of bottles of milk,
Yeah.
and some bread and honey, and we're done.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
It was awesome. Good
Oh, so
stuff.
that was fun. All right. Yeah. So now you guys are deep in hostile territory. Unfortunately, you're healed.
Nice.
And we have a completely stupid harebrained plan to do
Yes.
reconnoitering. So I love it.
Just as
Yeah.
it should be. Yes.
As it should be, yes.
Yeah, and I was forced to come up with the name of the tavern, and I'm like, well, who else would be running it? No, but
Right.
That sounds
Miracle.
fine.
the Merkel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. He
All right,
bought
guys.
one, he retired to the country, you know. it
Yeah,
happens.
exactly. Hey,
It was awesome. Thanks for
Yeah.
running.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the,
no,
the
it
best
was
thing,
great.
best part was like, yeah, Mortville. I'm thinking like, I can't. Like, I'm thinking like, we can't call it Mortville. And you're like, well, you said like Mortville. Like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. All right, guys.
All right. Take
All
care,
right,
guys.
a
y'all
lot.
take
Thank you.
care.
I'm gonna stop
too.